Welcome to another Down the Rabbit Hole video. Went to the Vancouver Retro Gaming Expo on the weekend, and I've been feeling bad that I've gone to the Portland Retro Gaming Show quite a few times, and here I live in Vancouver. I've never actually done a video about the one that we host. There's a reason for that, which I'll get to in a minute. But yeah, it was on the weekend, May 28th. And it was hosted, or I believe run by the folks at Game Deals, which are a really great store in New Westminster, here, a suburb of Vancouver. And look at the size of the place. I mean, they really have a very, very nice venue this time around. It was quite nicely spaced out. I mean, there was plenty of room for people to wander, see what the vendors had for sale. And it was also kind of just nice and bright, very modern kind of an environment. I guess it's some kind of exhibition hall. Prior to this, it had been in an old theater, like a stage theater, and it was usually crammed full of chairs and a stage and that kind of stuff. This, though, had a really nice kind of open environment that everybody could, all the vendors could put their stuff out there and show off what they had for sale. Now, I'm kind of doing a couple of tours through here. First, I just wanted to give you a brief idea of what sort of things they had for sale. In addition to retro games and collectibles, you also had a couple of machines. Not too many. I think there was a couple of Neo Geos set up so you could play some games. And then t-shirts and a variety of other stuff. And then there was another area where you could go and play some games on some old machines, which I'll get to in a minute. But again, this is just this is out on the main floor. As you can see, plenty of room to walk around in. This is the booth of Press Start. They're another retro store in New Westminster. They've very, very good stuff there. Game Deals is a bit larger selection, but these Press Start guys, competitive pricing, and what they do have is really, really nice. I have found things in Press Start I haven't found in Game Deals. Now, this was being held at the Anvil Center, 777 Columbia Street, and there it is from the outside. A nice modern building. As I said, from the inside you can see plenty of room, and just a really nice place to host the event. This is the Columbia Theater. And this was where the previous shows were held, and as I say, very tight, cramped conditions, kind of an older building with, shall we say, its own charm, but certainly not great for hosting an event like this. What's really good is, as you can see from the Anvil Center, not only plenty of room and very modern and spacious, but several floors. I'm about to cut to showing off how not only you had this main floor for the vendors, and there's almost an eagle-eye view here, but on the second floor there was a little place for drinks, and you could sit down and have a coffee, and also a place to do some solid gaming, a whole bunch of consoles all set up. And then even on the third floor up here, there were even more machines, which was very, very cool. These were older PCs all set up, but it was kind of neat. You had like this glass balcony area. You could enjoy what was up here. You could see what was going on the second floor and look all the way down on the first floor if you really wanted to. Yeah, you got some old Apple machines there, and even an Apple II. That was pretty cool to see. And for something that seemed like it was just sort of in an upper corner, sort of nosebleed section of the event, there was plenty of room for plenty more machines to go in there. This was on the second floor. Now I'm going to show you where all those consoles were in a second, but as you can see here, a bunch of Commodore machines had been set up. And again, plenty of room for more vendors if they want to have them next year. And there was even that old portable computer. I don't remember the model, but I know Metal Jesus has done a couple of videos about that machine. This is just around the corner from those Commodores. This is where it was like a stage room. You can see the big red curtain there, but they had all kinds of consoles all set up for free play, so you could just enjoy the games. And now looking back down on the first floor, there was a little rest area there where you could sit on these cushioned Yogibo, I think is the name of the company, cushioned seats. We actually ordered one for our bedroom. Yeah, very happy at just how many people were able to just wander around, stretch the legs, not feel cramped in at all. Certainly compared to the previous years, this was a much better event for the crowd. This was a good booth with some unusual items. There was a Legend of Zelda Game & Watch sitting there for $50. I was very tempted to get it because that's a pretty good price, but just thought, no, I'll let a Zelda fan pick that up instead. And around the corner from them were an entire booth of just Nintendo. I got Super NES and original NES. Huge variety of stuff. Of course, as usual, a lot of artworks. These were really nice. That, I don't know what it's called, melty pixels, where you kind of get pixels, all of whatever character you like, and you give them an application of some heat, and they form and make some very nice artwork. This was some kind of a pachinko machine. You know the type in Japan where they just shoot the silver balls around and around? That's what that was. Kind of unusual to see it. Also unusual to see a bunch of Minecraft cushions? Not sure. And across from that, now this was really neat. There was somebody had set up a 3D printer, and they were making little items. I mean, these guns and swords and little characters. You can even see there, it's making some kind of a, I'm not sure, some kind of a pillar. I was almost going to get the Stormtrooper gun sitting there, because I thought, well, I kind of miss the Stormtrooper gun of my youth. But I didn't end up doing it. Here's some more shots, just to give you some idea of the kind of things that were out on the floor. I almost thought this shelf was strictly Nintendo stuff, but on the bottom shelf it's got PlayStation and an Xbox as well. But speaking of PlayStation, a booth just across from those guys had a whole bunch of PS3, PS4, and some Super Nintendo stuff. Now this was nice. I actually bought something from this booth, which I'll show in the pickups. What these folks have done is gathered pieces of old t-shirt material and made pillows and cushions and all kinds of stuff. Really wanted to get that Atari pillow. And Mostly Music is a store locally. I've never been there. I've heard well, I guess what I've heard is their selection isn't great, but look at this. I mean, there's a lot of stuff, so I think I'm going to check out their shop. And what's really nice is all those yellow dots, those are all labels showing either the price or whatever the game was, which is good. And toward the back wall, there was a fellow with Japanese imported retro games. I went through this several times because there's a few PlayStation 1 and Game Boy original Japan-only releases I've been looking for. And what was nice is this guy had tons of them, and every single one labeled. So even if he didn't speak Japanese, he had the English title sitting right there. That was great. Even some Dreamcast stuff in the back. Now, I bumped into Gamester81. He was there. I didn't get a chance to take any footage of him, but saw him there. And also Kinsey Burke. She's got a great channel, and she was there, and she said hello. She's very, very nice. In fact, she was very kind to provide me with an outro.
Hey! See you down the rabbit hole.
All right, and now let's finish off with the pickups that I got at the show. The first thing I got was this Super Mario Galaxy 2 for the Wii. I finished the first Super Mario Galaxy game, and I've been meaning to pick this one up for a long time, but it's always about $35 to $45 no matter where I go, whether it's at Bargain Bin or even at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. I've seen it there, but it's always still at kind of what it was in the shop's original price tag. Here, though, $20 Canadian. I was very happy to get that at that price tag. A great game. I mean, 10 out of 10 on all the review sites, but now I've got it, and I can play it. I also picked up Game Boy game here, Quarth. Since I got the Game Boy Advance AGS 101, I've been kind of getting into old Game Boy and Game Boy Color games since now I've actually got a machine to play those on. Quarth is kind of interesting, and I'll do a little gameplay at some point. It's, imagine Tetris and, I don't know, Breakout and Space Invaders all combined into one game. It's really, really cool. What else? Oh, I don't quite understand this. Judge Dredd for the Game Boy? What's that doing in there? That's really weird. And finally, I also picked up a blanket. Now, you're going to wonder, why did I get a blanket? It's very, very cool. First of all, you can see it's got a Tron theme to it, and it's really, really nice. It's actually, it's from those people with the pillows and stuff. This is old t-shirt material that they've kind of patched together and made a little variety of items, cushions and blankets and stuff. And you're probably wondering, well, why do you have a Tron blanket? For that, I'm going to hope that this gets into the frame here. You remember I did a video review for my Triple H for this, the atomic pinball, or the, sorry, atom pinball. I keep it in this box most of the time because I didn't have the original packaging. And if you can see, it's just an old crummy towel that I'm using to kind of store it and keep it from rattling around in the box too much. So now that I've got a nice Tron blanket, I'm actually going to wrap it in that. So that's actually why I picked that up. Anyway, so there we go. There are my pickups from the Vancouver Retro Gaming Expo. Really enjoyed it. Very, very happy that they've improved it a lot. And yeah, at this point, I will quote Kinsey and say, we'll see you down the rabbit hole.